My name is Al Rodee, and I own and operate EFT Atlantic in Halifax, Nova Scotia. It's not as sunny as it often is, but we've had a wonderful winter, and I expect we're going to have an even more wonderful winter as time goes on, because things are getting better and better in every way, every day. I was thinking about this call, and as some of you probably know, I make no preparation for this call. And sometimes that's patently obvious, I think, but other times maybe not so much. And I hope that, and I trust actually, that my spirit is flowing through me at this moment. I ask for spirit to guide me in these ideas. And as we first got on, Carol and I and Geraldine were talking about how I set the camera up, or I was explaining how I set the camera up to do this video, and then I'm never quite sure if it's moved, even though I've locked everything into place. Now let's think about that. We really know in our hearts, don't we, that our spirit, our creator, is always, always, always there with us? But how often in the run of even one day do we forget that? How is it that you could spend a weekend over Valentine's Day weekend and feel sad, which is actually what happened to me this weekend, and not really kind of trust that Spirit is going to make everything okay? And so it's that here we are on Monday morning where my hope and desire is to help everybody get in touch with Spirit, and so that we can maintain alignment throughout a whole week. Well, that's a really big task for any of us, to maintain alignment throughout an entire day, no less to mention, not to mention a whole week. And so we just talk about ideas, and you can refresh those ideas as sometimes you feel a little disconnected, and maybe those ideas will inspire you to feel a little bit more connected. It's not about finding nirvana, it's about finding relief. And so, as I was sad over the weekend, I forgot to look for that relief. And as practiced as I am getting to be, and I'm really practicing, I'm trying to practice what I preach here, and most of the time I do a pretty good job of it, but this weekend somehow it eluded me until this morning. And always on Monday morning, because I'm committed to doing this call, somehow my spirit just comes into my heart and lifts me up and carries me into that dimension that I can trust and know and feel completely real about. And I'm so grateful for that. So gratitude is a big part of this journey. One of the things that came to me this morning also was this idea of vision. What is your vision in life? I'm reading Wayne Dyer's book called Inspiration, and last night he talked about vision. And he talked about, you don't really need to, people set goals all the time. In fact, I got an email, from Paul today about a Mind Movies initiative that is about achieving your goals. And I'm thinking, I don't know about achieving goals. I think what I really want to do is be in the moment and walking toward my vision. And so if you don't have a vision in your life, I encourage you to seek that vision. Ask your inner child, talk about that vision. Where do you want to be when you look back on your deathbed and you're going to higher energy? When you're going to higher energy, where do you want to be the phone's ringing and it's disconnected me. When you're on your higher energy and you're on your way to saying goodbye to everyone around you, what is it that you want to look back at and say that I've accomplished or that I've done? This isn't really a goal as much as what is your vision from today forward. And so I encourage you to think about that. Think about, what is the date that you decide that you're going to live to? Put a date down. I did this a long time ago. And what I found out was that the original 85 that I thought, well, that was pretty good, because my dad died when he was 61, and my mother died when she was 76. And I thought, well, 85 is pretty good, you know, outliving my parents. But then as I started to think about all the things I kind of had a vision for, I thought, you know, that's not enough time. So I'm going to live until I'm 94. And I decided that. And I might actually push it farther. Now, what does that mean? That means I have to get into better physical condition. It means I have to exercise more. It means I have to eat better. Am I doing all of that yet? Not yet. But is it still in my vision? Has it been in my vision for almost 2 years now? Absolutely. Wayne Dyer says, find your vision and stop listening to the good opinion of others. And stop worrying about the criticism that you will inevitably feel as people are nervous about the decisions that you make. If you're not in the job that you should be in, that if your job, you know, I use that word should, the job that doesn't feel right for you, then think about either how is it that you can become in line with that job and make it right for you and have it be your vision for the rest of your life, or start thinking about what is the perfect thing that you want to do. And I'm not suggesting anybody go out there and quit their job this afternoon. What I'm suggesting is that you think about what it is that you want. Attract into your life all of the things that you want. What is your vision? Because if you have a vision and you have faith, you can pretty much do anything you want. I watched a documentary while I was eating my breakfast this morning on Google. By far the most successful company in all time ever. Google. And they started out, two young guys working in a garage with, you know, kind of the same story as Apple Computer. Two guys, Stanford engineers, with a vision, with an idea that what they wanted to do was answer everybody's question instantly and make it a really easy thing to do. And so everybody that I know uses Google for their search engine, as do I. And they're extremely successful because they understand the simplicity of what we want, and they have the vision to fulfill that quest for people. So, this was a little bit all over the map, and thank you for bearing with me, but this is my 8 for 8 call this morning, and I love you. We didn't get to do any EFT, but I've used up enough of your time this morning. We've taken up our 8 minutes. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me and thank you. This is Al Rodi. This is 8 for 8, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Have a great week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.